Hey, Jeff Fuller, Jay Fuller Interviews with you. Jay Fuller Interviews on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And joining me now is a friend of my brother's, a friend that loves basketball. This is Kobie Smith. Kobie, good to see you.
Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm doing well. So, where are you at right now?
I'm in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I'm outside my job, and I'm doing this interview with you.
Well, thank you so much. But Philadelphia, is that where you grew up?
Born and raised in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Graduated from Overbrook High School in 1989. That's the same high school that produced Lewis Lloyd, Wilt Chamberlain, a few other guys from Philadelphia that did some things in the league.
There you go. Hey, so behind me is a picture of the ENC Crusaders back the ECAC. How did you find your way up to ENC?
Well, at first, when I graduated from high school, I went to school at a place called Virginia Union University, and that's in Richmond, Virginia. And
Yeah.
I did not play basketball there. I was there for about 2 years, and I transferred. I transferred to Wilmington University, and that's in Newcastle, Delaware. And I played basketball there for about 28 games, which is about a year and a half. And I left there, and I was about to go to Messiah College, but that didn't work out academically for some reason. So I wound up at Eastern Nazarene College, and that's how I met your brother.
Now it seems like ENC had a pretty good squad back in that day, and I remember I think it was Williams you actually lost to in one of the playoff rounds. But can you just talk about the level of basketball? Did you expect it to be that competitive when you first arrived?
Well, I actually did because at the time I knew that New England was a hotbed for Division III basketball. So I knew when I got to ENC that it wasn't going to be nothing easy. Nothing, it's good players there. When I got there, Anthony Jennings was there, Jeff Sebron was there, Corey Loftus was already there. There's all guys that scored 1,000 points I just named. Those are all 1,000 points. But Jeff Jones was already there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of guys who was already there, productive. So I just tried to fit in.
So talk to me a little bit when you saw, I think it's the two twins. My brother said like when you see them, you're going to wonder like who are these guys, but they could really play. What was that experience like being a part of that team that maybe some people overlooked you, but you really got to show out?
Yeah, Dave Hepburn and Jay Hepburn were the twins. I think you got to be the twins you're talking about.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
you first look at them, you probably don't think they play basketball at all. But then you get on the court, you see it's nothing sweet. Both of them just high level defenders, real smart guys, knew how to play the game. And if you caught them, if you one of the guys that got on the court with them, and you thought that they couldn't play, that was the guys that they ate up the most.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, Kobie, real quick, I want to ask you, especially with all the social injustice and unrest going on, Eastern Nazarene College changed their name from Crusaders to Lions a few years ago. What were
Yeah.
your thoughts on that change?
Um, I think it's actually a good thing. There's a lot, especially now these days. There's a lot of political correctness. I don't like to use that term, but that's what it is. And I think that to take other people's perspectives into consideration when you're doing things like naming your team, we don't think that things like Crusaders or like now look at the Redskins. People for so long thought that that's just a name is a name, but if you think about things, you look at how other people look at things. You got to consider. And I think
Yeah,
it's a
you
good
do.
thing.
Yeah, you do. Hey, so where did your love for basketball begin? Was that your first sport, basketball, or did you play other sports?
No, actually, my first sport was football. I got into basketball after that, but the first sport in the hood, normally, I hate to put it like this, but the first sport in the hood is normally football. Because when you come outside, everybody's outside. Everybody got a football. Not a basketball court on every block where I'm from, but every block got somebody that got a football, and that's how I got into sports. My brother used to go around just playing football with whoever, all different blocks. I used to follow him around. I got into football, but then I really got into basketball.
So did football toughen you up for basketball?
Oh yeah, you learn how to take a hit, of course. Yeah, of course.
So, Kobie, I have to ask you on air. My brother, he tried out probably a little bit too late for ENC because he was focused on school. He was a little bit nervous about trying to balance both. But I remember when I would visit, they said he was the best player, not on the team, but still attending ENC. Could you
Yeah,
just talk a little bit about my
I have to
brother's game?
agree. I think I might have told you this before, but both years I think he tried out. I thought both years he should have made the team, and I thought that both years, this is just my opinion, both years he could have contributed to both of those teams. That's just my opinion. And
And
I
so
was
when
there and I played on both of those teams, and I wholeheartedly agree that he should have made the team, not only made the team, but been in the rotation. That's my opinion. And I played a lot of basketball in the summer with your brother in between my junior and senior years. And I got to credit that with helping me get better between my junior and senior years. It would be just time we show up in the gym and be 6 people, we just start playing.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, my brother remembers taking you to a couple of doctor's appointment. You had a leg injury or foot injury, and he said he got to know you that during that time. But my question is, how did you overcome adversity? I know my brother looks back and says being cut was difficult, but he learned so much about himself. Whether it was an injury or something else, how have you learned to grow through those times?
Oh, man. I've had 4 operations, man. All right, Cam. Yes, sir. I've had 4 knee operations. So when I first got hurt, like I didn't know what it was. And it was in the summertime. I didn't know, I never had a major injury before. You know, I've been hurt before, but hurt and injured are 2 different things. So this is my first major injury. I just didn't know what to do. I had to rehab and go through all the rehab. That whole process, it can be scary. You know what I mean? It makes you develop a mentality. And my mentality was just to get through it. That's all. Injuries come with the game, and to me, that was my first, first major injury. Not my last, but my first major injury. And from that point to this point, I think I've just gotten stronger mentally.
So, Kobie, what would you tell yourself back at ENC if you had to go through this pandemic when you were a junior at Eastern Nazarene College?
I would tell myself to listen to the experts, be smart, and respect other people around you.
And then with the whole social injustice, how can we, and I'm up here in Vermont and I am Korean, but I'm more Vermont redneck than anything because I was adopted and grew up here. But how can we really stand in the gap and stand with one another that are hurting really at this time?
The big thing I think is just be empathetic. Have your ears open and your heart open. And that pretty much takes care of everything. You got to be willing and able to listen to people. Listen to everybody's perspective. And you call yourself a Vermont redneck, man. I don't think you know Vermont redneck, man.
Hey, Kobie, I know you got to get back to work, but thanks for jumping out for a couple minutes. It's a joy to talk to you and finally to meet you. So we'll talk again soon.
I appreciate you, man. Sorry for sweating up your screen. I hope we can do it again sometime.
It's all good. Sounds great. Thanks, Kobe.
All right, bro.
Again, that's Kobie Smith making some time. He played at Eastern Nazarene College. They were the Crusaders, had their name changed to the Lions a couple years ago. And it's just a lot of fun to catch up with different athletes and see what they're all about. Again, my name is Jeff Fuller, J Fuller Interviews, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. You can follow, jump on, subscribe, and be a part there. Thanks again, all.